r/AmITheAHole for making my girlfriend leave the country. This is my first time posting on Reddit. Firstly, that's your first mistake, you've been on Reddit. So forgive any errors or if the format, I don't care about that. I, 28 male, have been dating my girlfriend, 27 female, for 5 years. We met it, what?
A bit ropey.
How's that ropey? 27 and 28?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? You just want to say something silly, don't you?
I'm just here to cause trouble.
It goes, we met in college when she was an international student. She started working after graduating while I am currently doing a master's. Her company was sponsoring her visa until they got bought out and she got laid off. She was given a limited time to find a new employer to sponsor her new visa, and it was really stressing her out. She was applying to jobs every day and did a lot of interviews, but unfortunately wasn't able to get an offer. She really wanted to stay since she loves the place and I would still be here in the country. Whilst I was out, a buddy suggested that I sponsor her visa since we've been in a relationship for quite some time. I love her and I didn't want to see her so stressed out, so I told her about the idea. She was hesitant at first. She said she didn't want me to think that she was with me so she could get a permanent residentship or citizenship to the country. I wanted her to stay and I wanted to do it. I mean, right now, it seems like a decent bloke.
I think it's quite standard.
Yeah.
It's quite standard
And he
procedure.
goes, we consulted the immigration consultant and decided to do the paperwork on our own. She was the one who mostly looked into the stuff to prepare. She still applied for jobs, but it's not as urgently as she used to. It took a while since we never really had anything joint. We lived together and just split the bills on our own. She had enough saved up for everything to be okay. I had to fill out some paperwork to be her sponsor and I started to feel uneasy about it. I did want her to stay, but it felt like it was too much. Eventually, she was done with her part and all that left was mine. I finally told her that I didn't want to go through... What? That's a bit of a change.
Changed your tune, son, didn't you?
She was very upset and she asked why. I told her that I suggested the idea because I didn't want to see her be stressed out at the time, and then I eventually realised that I shouldn't have to be responsible for her. But it's just, now you just seem like a bit of a bellend at that point.
I think you need to think about it.
Would you sponsor me for a visa?
Absolutely not, mate. I'd do the opposite.
I didn't expect this to go into migration policy. He goes, we had a long talk where I told her that I still want to be in a relationship with her, but I didn't want to force to be responsible for her. She said she felt very hurt by what I said. Things changed and she didn't really talk to me after. She kept applying for jobs and attending interviews, but eventually her visa expired. Before she left, I told her that I love her and I really want her to come back. However, she told me she sees me differently. This just sounds like you're a complete dick.
Yeah, this guy's flip-flopping more than Gandhi on the Gobi Desert.
What does that even mean?
Gandhi wears flip-flops, doesn't he?
He goes, it's been a week since she's left. I miss her cooking, her presence, and being able to spend... It kind of just sounds like this bloke just needs a mum or something. This doesn't seem like a relationship.
He needs to get over it. I think what he's done here is he has proposed something quite epic proportions.
But to be fair, I do actually think that, sponsoring somebody for a visa is a pretty big deal. You know, I think that involves some pretty significant responsibilities.
I think to some people that wouldn't be a big deal, but if you're that emotionally connected to him, and then you just go back on your word.
Can you imagine that, mate? But he's been like, I want you to stay, I love you, but I'm sending you back to your own country. It's kind of messed up in a way.
Yeah.
Can I do the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, it goes. Am I the arsehole for not wanting my husband to go to his ex's funeral? Honestly, I don't even think I need the explanation for that. I'll admit, I'm biased right off the bat. I couldn't stand her. I call her his ex to myself and others. He called her his friend.
Glad they're dead.
You imagine she has that. She's like, and also, I'm glad she got
yeah.
I've been with him 10 years now, but he's known her for 20 plus. The way he tells it, they were friends in college, decided to date, got married. Oh gee, that's even more like a reason to go, right?
I'd tell him to get
Would I be invited to your funeral?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I don't know how it works. Who arranges my funeral?
I think it's your family, but can you imagine, right, to really fuck with somebody on like your last act is just to put in your will, oh yeah, this one specific person isn't allowed to my funeral. Like no reason whatsoever, but like you just wanted them to think because they can't get an answer for the rest of their life. What did I do to not be allowed to go there? I think I would do that. A couple months into dating, it came up that his friend was actually his ex-wife. He explained the above to me. Okay, if he's kept that from her, that is a bit weird, to be fair.
Yeah, that is very strange. These people are completely unhinged.
These don't sound like a married couple. You should not. You should just break up.
I almost think stuff like this, people have just written up just to get some free Reddit karma.
Yeah, this has 23,000 likes as well.
Does it? Yeah, because if these things happen in real life, you don't go on Twitter.
Well, it's like when you see some crazy Reddit poster like TikTok. I just know it's not true. It's like I shot my granddad. Am I the arsehole? He goes, he had to cry for a couple of days. He gets to be done with her mourning already. There's no need for him to go to the funeral since I wouldn't want her at his. He was the angriest I've ever seen him when I said that, replying, he'll be going no matter how I feel, and that he's willing to burn this to the this isn't real. This is
good on the fictional lad.
This is like when the Reddit stories just like kind of ruin it. It's like we know this is not real.
There is more truth in this is like in the Hogforts program than there is in this story.
Mate, respect Hogforts. That is a piece of British culture, and you need to respect
national treasure. That is.
Dumbledore just sacrificed all he had to make that show.
I'm really pissed off because what if that show actually gets made now? Because someone watches this.
I don't think J.K. Rowling's really going to be making Hogforts.
Hogforts is basically J.K. Rowling's Twitter anyway.
If she wanted to recover her branding, she just need to make Bogforts.
Mate, me when I invent sliced bread. Pogforts.
Shut up. He goes, him, her husband, and my sisters are calling me an insensitive arsehole over this, all saying that there was no romantic aspect to their relationship and that I'm heartless, and her husband saying that I'm a ghoul for how it reacted. I never felt their relationship was appropriate, and I had that for years because I wanted to be with my husband. Now she's gone, I don't feel like I should have to hide it anymore. Am I the arsehole for wanting him to be done with her and not attend the funeral? You're a dick if this is real. Like, there's no other way about it.
You're being very selfish.
And to make it up for him, go give him some slop.
you owe him one
and one trip to a live audience viewing of Hogforts. Wait. I think I found an actual good one here. Am I the arsehole for giving my girlfriend's cat away? This is what you're going to do to my dog after our next recording. My girlfriend...
Wait. Before I get into it, yes. That cat could be like the worst cat of all time.
But what if it's like Filcher's cat? That is one stinking cat.
Yeah, it could
That's
be...
That's got poo on his fur, man.
Yeah, mate.
It's got permanent state of fleas.
It could have like really pooey breath. It could...
No, I've got poo breath.
Mate, it could have worms. It could, I don't know...
Mate, come on, you're going a bit far now. If it's that fucked up, put that cunt down.
It could be racist. It could be.
No, it couldn't.
You can't get rid of the racist cat because it's not your cat to give away.
It's fucking J.K. Rowling's cat.
I got a good story about cats actually.
What, are we going into a stupid cat story before we do this?
Basically, my dad's got two cats.
Yeah.
One's called Jet and one's called Josie.
Yeah.
And I asked him the other week. I went, "Oh, how's Josie getting on? She hasn't been mentioned in a while." And my dad went, "Oh, did you not hear the other week she was found dead in a garage?" So
I love that your dad's acting like it's on BBC News. Breaking news: Aidan's cat's dead. Rest in peace, my G.
Mate, if I saw my dad on the news,
there would be a multitude of reasons why your dad would be on the news.
Just won a local bowls competition.
Your dad took a bowl to the head. Alright, let's continue. I'm only asked for giving my my girlfriend's cat away. My girlfriend and I have now been together since we were 13. We're 20 now. Well, that's going to end soon. And she's had a cat for the duration of our relationship. I'm going to go ahead now and say, I don't care for cats since I'm allergic to them, and hers was no exception. Everyone who writes these sounds like a psycho. I'm not really an animal person in general, but if I were to get one, it wouldn't be a cat. They're disgusting and creep me out. My girlfriend and I moved in together at 18, and I was always under the impression that she would leave the cat with her parents, and since she knew how much I didn't like them. Long story short, the cat came with her, and whilst I wasn't thrilled about it, I allowed her to stay, and under the conditions that it wouldn't sleep in our bed, and wouldn't sit on the furniture, and it wouldn't go in the office space.
Where can the cat go?
In the bin, clearly. Mate.
In the freezer, like.
that's the main plot here. He just shoved it in the freezer and was like, 4 hours later, found out cats can't survive in freezers.
This is literally like Dwight Schrute, isn't it?
Yeah. So she goes,
like you, mate.
Yeah, that's not very nice. Over the course of 2 years, I would come home from work and my girlfriend would be chilling on the couch with the cat like I'd asked her not to. I got ready to climb into bed and there would be cat hairs on the sheet, so I knew she let it into the bedroom. Not to mention, she has what I feel like it is an unhealthy obsession with this thing. She constantly talks about it and it drives me up the wall. For a while, I just slept in the office so I wouldn't have to deal with an itchy face and puffy eyeballs. With us being stuck at home now, it's even harder for me to have my own space. The straw that broke the camel's back was when I went home and found a cat sitting in the window. It literally in the window. It's managed to merge.
To do that.
It's like sellotaped itself on with its like claw up like that. The cat's become like fully sentient. I've asked time and time again to keep this cat out of my space, and I feel like she deliberately disrespects my wishes. So I found a walk-in surrender shelter today and dropped the cat off. I haven't told my girlfriend, and being that it's an indoor/outdoor cat, I hope she thinks that it just ran away. I love my girlfriend, but this cat was legitimately our only source of you should f***ing kill.
Also, the cat stole my lasagna and ate it all the time. It famously hates Mondays. And also, the cat is called Garfield.
And I've also there's like a post 6 months later made of where he's run into another animal problem because the girlfriend in her morning adopted some animals to like kind of cover over the fourths, and he's got this problem of where there are these 3 chipmunks that just won't stop singing music. They've got really annoying loudspeaking voices, and across the road there are these 3 other chipmunks with wigs.
You remember when people use like schools with Bluetooth Alvin and the Chipmunk
mate, you got like Mr. Beast getting hundreds of million views in like 2023. Back in like 2010 it was Alvin the Chipmunks over Eminem. Love the way you lie. There's nothing really sad for them, mate. I think you're an actual like cat murderer, pretty much. You are a terrible person.
Just everything about that is wrong. And I've got a hole in my socksies.
You sick boy.
I've got a cat actually called Socks.
How is he?
Absolute dickhead.
Yeah.
You
take it to a shower.
If you well, it's my girlfriend's family's cat, I guess. But every time they get food out, it's all over. So I can understand why you don't like cats, but you can't be giving them away. Let me do the next post. Am I the asshole for not letting my boyfriend go on the new primetime TV show Snogwarts?
Shut up! I was confused for a second. I was like, what?
Do you want me to do this one then?
Yeah, go on. Spit it out.
Am I the asshole for uninviting my recently widowed brother to a family event?
What? She invited him to it?
But uninviting.
Oh, I mean, that's a pretty nasty thing to do, to be fair.
If the reason's because he's a sad boy, fair enough, innit? You don't want someone dragging the vibe down it.
Mate, he was recently widowed.
Yeah.
His wife could have been killed by like Dobby or something.
Well, it says here that
giving out my Harry Potter references.
It says here that he had a cocaine addiction and she was a toad, and she was featured a lot on the primetime TV show Frog Snorts. If this is a clip, like people that just want Reddit content, I have no idea what the Frog Snorts is. Basically, if you're not sure on this full episode, Frog Snorts is where Dumbledore just does loads of lines of cocaine on live wizarding TV. It's, you know when Ron Weasley throws up the frogs? It's like that, but those frogs are doing cocaine.
No, they just poison a bunch of kids and be like, who can throw up the most frogs? Go on, carry on.
Right,
get into it.
Alright, we'll do it properly now. Am I the asshole for uninviting my recently widowed brother to a family event? My female 29 brother's wife passed away recently from cancer about 8 weeks ago.
Big
it's
not
funny. Let me start again.
No, continue. It is funny. You've lost the game.
That's awful, mate. Right, my brother's wife passed away recently from cancer about 8 weeks, and it's not funny.
Did she? You're right.
My brother's wife passed away recently from cancer about 8 weeks ago. He isolated himself from everyone for 2 weeks and stayed inside all day watching Snogwarts.
To be fair, if my wife died from cancer, I'd also watch Snogwarts.
Yeah, I'd be stuck to that sofa watching Snogwarts all day long.
Went out.
I leave that for Bognauts. Mum and Dad were so worried about him, and so they started inviting him to family events at their house. He agrees to come, but then at some point, someone mentions his wife, even just her name, and he begins to sob.
Sobwarts. Go on.
Dead wife thoughts.
Continue.
Smegwarts. I'm not exaggerating. As a result, dinner gets awkward, and whatever event is being hosted gets interrupted. Right, what are your thoughts on that so far? I've got another paragraph, but I think so far... So, right, imagine your brother's wife has just died.
Yeah.
The parents start inviting him to things to, you know...
What, and they're just basically ruining the vibe?
And then, basically, every time someone brings up his dead wife and he just bursts
I think the rules should be, no, don't uninvite him. Just stop bringing up his dead wife.
Yeah,
like, Jesus Christ.
Imagine, like, you're sitting down around dinner and going, oh, so how are you feeling since your fucking wife died.
They're actually being proper rude about it. Yeah. They don't even like say anything. They're like all like silently in their meal, and then one of them just says the name. It's
like, do you think they just mutter it?
Yeah,
like they're just going for a go.
They do little whispers to each other. They're passing it on. But yeah, I think they're probably a bit silly for this. Like, I mean, maybe their intentions are like to make sure that he doesn't get upset, but like they should, not bring up his dead wife.
Yeah, be like, lovely dinner. And speaking of dinner.
Cooked like your wife's remains. Have you got her ashes back yet?
Speaking of dinner, and speaking of dinner ladies, do you know who my favourite dinner lady was before they died? My brother's deceased wife. Poor fucking Jill. Poor fucking Jill fell in the fish fryer.
They like bring him. They get their arm around him. Everything. It's like, your fucking wife is dead, isn't it? He's like,
yeah. Drowned in the tubby custard.
On Fishy Fridays.
It's always chocolate crunch on the Fridays.
If this is a real Reddit post, we are sick.
I don't care.
No, neither.
This happened 3 times already. Last weekend was my turn to host dinner. Not gonna lie, my husband and I were worried the same thing will happen again. My husband said it would be almost impossible that no one will mention my brother's wife at some point. So he suggested I let my brother sit this one out. Why did I keep bringing it up?
Yeah, just fucking stop bringing up his dead wife. Like, you don't need to do that, for God's sake.
In other words, just let him stay home and get the space he needs and watch the latest edition of Hogwarts. I considered the idea and called my brother and apologized.
I'm sorry, but do you reckon he was on Hog Hub?
Yeah, mate, big time. I let my brother sit this one out. In other words, just let him stay home and get the space he needs.
In other words, they're just letting him be lonely and just like cripple into depression. Like, like you are really like bad at this whole family. Like, you should be making sure your family aren't on their own. And I get you need your space and stuff, but the only reason he's upset is again because you keep saying his wife's dead. Like, he knows he's got the remains.
I heard she himself because he spent too much time spending money on his pork addiction. Because when he looked on a bank statement, there was loads of charges for only hams. I considered the idea, then called my brother and apologised to him for cancelling the invite. He wasn't happy about it, which was surprising to me because I thought he was basically forced to attend these events.
He's just getting upset because you keep mentioning again his dead wife.
Sorry, bro. I didn't invite you because because I don't want.
Wait. On the phone call, they still bring up the wife. We didn't invite you because your wife's dead. If you didn't know.
My parents found out and went off on me, calling my behaviour disgraceful and saying I was unsupportive and unfeeling to what my brother's going through to exclude him like that. I explained why I thought this was the best option, but they claimed that I took away the comfort and support that my brother gets from people around him. They said that I was selfish and have no regard for my brother's loss, but I 100% do.
Sorry,
I remember one season I remember one Christmas.
Shut
what
up. What? You're gonna bring some stupid shit.
What do you mean?
You're gonna say something stupid. I know you are. Say it. Just get it out there.
I think to rectify this problem, we can sign my brother up to Snogwarts, as he's really ugly, has a load of verrucas, and needs to find a new wife.
P.S. Wife is dead. Oh yeah.
My husband said that.
Oh my god, it doesn't end. Jesus.
My husband said that my parents obviously don't care about guests being uncomfortable watching my brother sob at every event and causing it to be cut short like that. They're still pretty much mad at me and demanding I apologise to my brother because I hurt his feelings.
Yeah, I think you suck.
I think stop bringing up the dead wife. Let's read some of the comments.
I think pretty much everyone here is widely agreeing that that she's an arsehole.
So the comments for this one, it says, lovely pair of knockers. Oh, that's the other tab you left up.
Very comedic, Aidan. Sorry your wife died, but your sadness kind of burns everyone out, so you just need to be alone. It pretty much sums it up, right? Like, you are a complete asshole, and you should repay him with a weekly subscription to Hogwarts.
I sort of get it, because like I would hate to have my brother just turn up and cry all the time.
Yeah, but you would.
I'd rather them just not.
But there's a reason. There's a way to avoid it, and it's by not bringing up the fucking cancer
up the
patient.
wife, or just trying to like matchmake them with other people straight away would be funny.
No, that would probably be even worse.
Do you think?
Just give the man some food and like a plate of jammy Dodgers.
Bro,
and leave
I know you were punching. But I think I've found some like-minded matches for you.
Should we wrap it up by saying I think these are all not very good people?
Yeah, they're all terrible people. A bit like me, really.
Yeah, we've said some horrific stuff. I didn't even expect to even say some of that. We shouldn't be ranking these because we are also the arsehole, clearly.
We're always arseholes. In fact, I'm just gonna play out the pod with one final joke for you all to sit on. Maybe there's something you can bring around the dinner party instead of your deceased relatives.
None of my relatives are dead, mate.
If your wife has just recently died, think about this joke and hopefully it gets you by.
To all the people with dead wives out there.
Yeah, this one's for the dead wives out there. The wedding was so beautiful, even the cake was in tears.
Wait, what? Is that the fucking joke?
Yeah.
Every joke you have told today has just made me feel empty. Like, just nothing. Not even an emotion of anger. Just a thought of what? Just what did you just say to me?
See you later.